Time segment tonight. After we spoke with Senator Dodd yesterday, we spoke with Dennis Miller, who was listening to the interview. As usual, Miller had some insights. Roll the tape. You know, I'm always disappointed when people come on with propaganda like Senator Dodd did. You know, he obviously didn't know what I said about Al-Qaeda in San Francisco. He didn't know what program I said, and I was fed to him. But he and others, they're basically defiant, and they're going to do what they want to do. It never address the picture and the morality of the picture. Just kind of sloughed it off like this is not what is prevailing on this website, which is just absolutely untrue.
Well, let me tell you, Bill, you're disappointed in him as a fan of The Factor, and when I'm not on, I don't miss a night. I'm a little disappointed that you would give a hack like that a toehold. You know, these people aren't going to come on and debate on Fox, which is the preeminent cable news organization in this country. If I am to believe your ratings that I read on the internet, probably 8 times what the Daily Kos gets on any given day. For you to let him come in and sandbag you like that, I must tell you, as a viewer of The Factor, I don't need to hear from hacks like Chris Dodd.
But wait. That's interesting. And I know I'm going to get mail that says you were right on that. But look. He comes in, and I want people to see him, no matter what he said. No, if he denied, which he did. You know, if you would think he was talking about the Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm website, you know, from his description of it. It was totally inaccurate, totally not true, and people can see for themselves. But I have to present these guys to the American public as best I can. Now, certainly he was challenged every step of the way, but you would not have even used him?
He not only has never watched The Factor, he's never read the Daily Kos. He's a guy who's looking up in the Iditarod of the Democratic primary process at Dennis Kucinich's behind in front of him. He could speak at his dining room table and only 50% of the family would show up. And I don't need him on here unless he wants to talk about something substantive, which he didn't. He just wanted to whip off his glove and smack you in the face, because at this Daily Kos thing next week, that's going to make him a big man.
Okay, I agree with
you. I just don't need to see it.
But don't you think most people see that? Don't you think that when he comes on and does that and got smacked right back, all right, and I didn't like to do that to a sitting senator, I have to tell the audience, does not give me any pleasure, but I certainly have to do it. Don't you think the audience then does exactly what you do, sees through it, knows the game, and then basically says, this is what is going there?
No, I don't think most of your audience does. I think you'd be better off having Kucinich on, because as much as I am not voting for Dennis Kucinich, I have to admire that he takes a stand and says his piece and at least has some policy.
Anytime. But this is the first time Dodd's ever been
on. Bill, this guy had nothing except standing up to you, who they assume to be the symbol of the right wing and all that, and he was boring. He was tedious. He doesn't know anything about you.
And it'll be interesting to see if people agree with you or not. I think it's worthy to put them on, and I think it's worthy when they spout stuff that isn't true to challenge them, and I don't think it was a boring segment, Dennis. I got to disagree.
No, I don't think it was boring.
It wasn't boring.
I think
and everybody's going to be talking about it tomorrow, but you may have a point. Putting on, and I didn't know he was going to be dishonest. I actually thought he would engage in the picture because he knows Lieberman for 30 years. Yeah, he turned on Lieberman in the election, but you're right. He pandered, and so he could get an attaboy when he goes into this hateful thing over the weekend.
Yeah.
All right.
He'll be a big guy. You know something?
No, he won't.
That convention is a loser fest. I mean, there are hookers who have put an embargo on that convention.
All right. Now, Miller, I can, you know, your radio show you do every day, 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
I think I can get you Chris Dodd to come on. Would you like to have him as a guest sometime this week?
Listen, if I want somebody who drones on like that, I'll put up a test pattern, my friend.
So that's a no.
Don't want him. Not interested. Tedious.
You know, I'm going to really be interested to see the emails that come in overnight on whether I should have booked them or not. I bet you, a lot of it's going to be interesting to see him. We'll read him tomorrow. Dennis Miller, everybody, check him out on the radio. Stay away from him if you see him in person. And next week, Miller Time will return its regular Wednesday slot when we